just we'll offer our gratitude, love, and thanksgiving to the Almighty for having brought Vivekananda to this world. Today is his Mahasamadhi day, 4th July. And you see, he had written a song also, the 4th July. That was the day of the independence of America. So here we see, just now the song went on, he descended from the Saptarishi Bhuvana. One day Sri Ramakrishna was sitting for his meditation. He went, he says, after meeting Swamiji, Vivekananda. It was once. Or must be a little earlier, before Vivekananda came to him. But it is, his sadhana has finished somewhere during that time, either before Vivekananda comes, just before. Usually he is to have, he knows in the heart of heart who has brought him to this world, knows who he is. But he tells us, one day I sat for meditation, I transcended one by one lokas, the planes of existence, bhu, bhuva, ma, jana, tapa, satyam, all the 7 planes of existence. Of course, the lower lokas doesn't come into picture when we transcend lower to go to higher. From bhu we begin because we are in the bhu. He started transcending one by one lokas, the planes of existence. Last of the Satya Loka, he was to enter into the transcendental realm. The whole relative existence is this universe. When he is entering, he says, between the relative and transcendental, before I could enter into the transcendental, there was a luminous space. And that whole universe, the entire universe, not only Bhuloka, the entire universe has transcended. On all sides of this universe, before the transcendental begins, there is a luminous region which separates the absolute from the relative, and this luminous region is called the not exactly transcendental, trans-relative existence. Beyond that is a transcendental. In the transcendental, how he explains is, I went to that region where even gods cannot peep. Imagine the things, even gods cannot peep. Those who are in the Bhuvasva, Mahajana, Tapa, Satyam, all these lokas, they are there, and Satyam Loka, where the reality and the darkness, Satya, Asatya can be seen like day and night, so clear. Any of these beings, gods and goddesses, they cannot peep into that region. There I saw Saptarishis sitting, 7 rishis sitting in deep meditation. The luminous part of the room, that area, takes the form of a child, goes to one of the rishis and says, we have here below, means on the earth, we have to go. And then the rishi slightly opens his eyes and closes with a smile. And a ray of light descends And that Sri Ramakrishna recognizes as Narendra. That Narendra, living for 39 years, doing all his things, again beginning, he used to now and then tell Sri Ramakrishna he belongs to that realm, the beyond. And he does all these spiritual practices. His contact with Sri Ramakrishna was just 4 years. Within that 4 years and a fraction of a year, he finishes, Sri Ramakrishna makes him attain the highest up to the Nirvikalpa, and last discloses who he is, and tells, till you finish the mother's work, your further realizations and your Nirvikalpa also will be kept locked. The key will be with me. When you are finished, the key comes back. And then years past his struggle. Again to go into that, then he goes as Parivrajaka, whole of India, his heart melts. Just like the Arjuna's heart melts when he sees the warriors. And then how he weeps and falls down. Same situation Vivekananda passes through. Everywhere ignorance filled, poverty stricken, but with all that, the spiritual fire, spiritual breath, spiritual air was moving. With that, he goes to the West. The first thing is to bring something for the Indians. To wake these people up, we need something, because on a hungry stomach there is no religion. Minimum requirements of I have to provide. And then second thing is I have to give the message of the Master to the West. And America was a place where everybody's eyes from the world was there. And as the designed by divine Parliament of Religion was there, from various parts of the world people had gathered, and he presented for the first time what Hinduism is. Because till then the Westerners who came treated Hinduism as a remnants of barbarism. They could not understand the depth of spirituality, that God is limitless. So first time Sri Vivekananda opened their eyes. Don't limit God. He is without form, He is with form also. He can take any form, He has no limitation. So all these understandings were given to them, and he returns back, of course, lot of suffering. Then like ordinary men, they undergo. Even you can see Rama walking through the forests, barefooted. All this they undergo for the welfare of the world. And finally, when he comes to Bailurmath, the last day arrives, 4th of July. In the early morning, he goes early, very early, to the temple. That was the old temple. And there he goes, closes his door, and for 3 hours he meditates there. At 7 a.m. he comes down, singing a song, Amar Ma ki Amar Kalore, that which Sri Ramakrishna is to sing, means he has seen the light of Kali, which represents the whole whole of existence, the transcendental and the relative, the whole dynamic and static aspect of reality and the beyond. Then he comes down, and whole day he passes with his brother disciples, and all afternoon he takes Sanskrit class for brahmacharis. In the evening, at 7 o'clock, he goes back to his room and says, "May none disturb me, I'll be inside." A person who was taking care of him, he goes inside. Feet for a few minutes, he presses his feet, strokes his feet, and then Swamiji says, "Yes, you can go out." He comes out, and at 9:20, he has already left the body. So that was the 4th July, night 9:20. And this is the day how the Sat aspect, the Bija mantra sound, Sa and Aum, sound is one of the Bija mantras which represents Sat of the absolute existence. That Sat, Sat Chit Ananda, Om Tat Sat, Tat Saviturvarenyam. That Sat, Sa is represented. It's a thing which has both Shakti and Chaitanya, Chit Shakti and Chaitanya together, which illumines as well as full of power. And whole universe emerges taken care, and this Bija mantra is one of the Bija mantras we use in the Sri Vidya, an important Bija mantra, sound, that enlightens the Jiva, enlightens the Ishvara to do his duties. The creative process, this sustenance, the dissolution, all these Ishvara is able to do with his all-pervadingness, omnipotence, omni-existence, that is, omnipresent, omniscient, knowing everything, and omnipotent, and omnicompassionate. These qualities come from that. It is endowed. Jiva is endowed with the inner light of the spiritual existence, though covered by so many external sheaths. Within is that sound shining forth. It is that which connects to the eternal Sat. From that, the Soham comes into picture. I am that. So that Vivekananda, we can see that eternal light which is illumining the whole world, giving all that is needed for its sustenance, for Jiva to illumine and go back. That it is that realm Vivekananda belongs, and may him enlighten us all.